Good afternoon again. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. And yes, we are getting back onto the Snake Oil Salesman series, but before we do, a disclaimer real quick. Throughout the duration of the Snake Oil Salesman series, you're going to find all the source material linked right up top inside the description box. Should you like to do a deep dive on your own, you're definitely going to be able to go ahead and do that. Trigger warning, this channel is marked not for kids for a reason. I do use profanity. And some of the topics we cover on this channel can be particularly triggering. So, if you have a child that is 16 and younger and they are watching this, parental supervision very much advised. If you hear a cat in the background, I am sorry. My cat has a list of demands and him's protesting. So, apologies for that in advance as well, alright? What are we protesting, Meow? Sorry, we don't have an edit button, folks. We do not have an edit button. So, we're going back into the whole supplements versus sports medicine. And we are going over an article that was done 2 years ago in Psychology Today. You can tell it's one of my favorites considering how much I use it, can't you? It says, why do athletes keep falling for quacks? Pseudoscience is everywhere in sports fitness. Here's how to play smart defense. So, the key points: the sports and fitness industries are teeming with bogus beliefs and fraud. Competitive athletes and all who hope to improve fitness should consistently apply critical thinking. Most supplements sold for sports and health are poorly regulated, if at all. Buyer beware. And again, just because I've done it both ways, and I exercise for multiple hours a day, every day, I can tell you the difference between being on the creatine, taking those pre and post workout tablets, and taking the protein shakes, and then switching off of that and just paying more attention to what I'm putting in my body in the morning, afternoon, at night. Am I allowing for a few protein-rich snacks in between those meals? And since then, my performance during exercise, it is night and day. Night and day. Massive difference. And I don't spend near the money that I was beforehand. But let's go ahead and continue here, shall we? Scientific knowledge is accessible to more people today than ever before, yet the relationship competitive sports and the fitness industry share with medical quackery, useless gimmicks, and anti-scientific concepts are as strong as ever. I would argue that it's worse, especially when you start bringing up vitamin shops as one of the places that really sells a lot of bogus stuff. It may be worse than ever thanks to social media, which now amplifies and delivers lies on an enormous scale. Particularly, YouTube is one of the worst offenders that I have seen on there. They were massively behind that push for apple cider vinegar. They were to push behind a lot of different tinctures and different things here, there, everywhere, right? So yeah, we do need to know the difference between going in and getting my vitamin C, my B complex, and a few other things from some of the more pseudoscience-y things. This will help with you getting lean muscle, will it? Because I can do that with my diet too. Nick Tiller is pushing back against the avalanche of bad ideas that millions keep falling for. As an exercise scientist, ultramarathon runner, and former physiologist for the British Olympic program, he understands just how severe this problem is. Oh, I bet. Be the one time I really don't mind actually having someone using the call to authority pitch, because this is this dude's job. Tiller currently works as a researcher at Harbor UCLA Medical Center in California. His brilliant book, The Skeptic's Guide to Sports Science, is a powerful takedown of numerous sports fitness delusions and deceptions. I need to note that. I'm going to want to read it. His advice and warnings are invaluable to both serious athletes and all who simply want to improve their health and fitness. I had the chance to ask him some questions about his work. There he is doing marathons. Kind of reminds me of my brother running the Spartan, only, a lot calmer. So, let's go ahead. We're going to start reading through the interview here. It says, just how big of a problem is fraud and medical quackery in sports and fitness today? Nick Tiller says, the industry is one of the world's biggest, worth over $4 trillion. Think about that. $4 trillion. This is more than the fast food, smartphone, and social media industries combined. Little to no regulation means marketing companies have no obligation to science or evidence. So they can essentially claim on their labels all they want, as long as they put in a minuscule thing saying not approved by the FDA somewhere on the box. They think that means they're good, right? So the industry has been overrun by baseless claims, with most products not delivering on their promises. This harms the consumer when they fail in their wellness goals and has implications for population health and clinical practice. This is particularly true in the diet sphere, and we will get there as we go throughout the series. But think about it, that green tea extract is going to make you skinny with almost no effort. This celebrity is producing this particular type of powder that tastes like ass and smells worse. But if you just keep taking it, it's making me literally sick. Well, keep taking it, you'll meet your goals by puking my guts out and letting my muscles atrophy. It's doing what it's supposed to. Yeah. That. So the industry, this harms the consumer when they fall in their wellness goals and have implications for population health and clinical practice. Many lives have been lost, and many of billions of dollars in economic damages stem from homeopathy, harmful detoxes, and other pseudoscience. Detoxes, here's what I'm going to say on this. You know how, this is going to be gross, but like if you're constipated, for example, and you take something to help you, but they warn you when you do it to make sure that you drink a whole lot of water, because if you don't, you will get easily dehydrated. So what are these detoxes? What do? They make you poop. I used to take some of those dieting teas, and yeah, it just makes you poop all the time. And you very easily, while using them, get dehydrated. And that's not going to have a good impact on the rest of your body. Right? Yeah. But let's continue here. We're just going to call him NT. Novak Djokovic, arguably the greatest tennis player of all time. Clearly, he is a very intelligent individual who's regularly a victim of his superstitious beliefs. This one said, can you share any example of smart athletes who fell for incredibly dumb things? How long you got? Aside from being deported from Australia in 2021 for violating their COVID-19 vaccination policy, he uses green algae smoothies to detox, infrared energy-emitting devices to energize him during matches, and regularly visits the Pyramid of the Sun in Bosnia and Herzegovina to harness its healing energies. Oh, Jesus Christ, not one of those. You had me at he's an anti-vaxxer. Because the anti-vaxxer to pseudoscience pipeline is insane. There is no slow descent. It's just you get on the top of the slide and you go straight down the rabbit hole. Hence why I named that series what I did. It's difficult to argue with his results, but his accomplishments have come despite his beliefs, not because of them. Such as the overall training of any modern athlete that you see go through. They condition their muscles with the particular types of training programs their trainers put them on. But for whatever reason, they just assume, oh no, it's totally because of all this pseudoscience. Of course, we cannot ignore the powerful psychobiological effects that are the basis of placebo. Precisely. Causation? God. There is a thing we say in the autistic community, and I always lose stock of what the other word is, so I've stopped trying to say it. But let's move on here. Next thing says, what should consumers look out for when considering workout plans, training equipment, or supplements? He says there are several red flags to look for. Take out notes. Get a notepad. Be cautious of interventions that claim to confirm numerous benefits. No product can treat everything. So if it's got a long list, like it's going to give you everything, it's going to fix your libido, your hair's going to grow back in, you're going to have much better muscles in your legs, you're going to lose weight faster, anything that starts listing stuff like that, it's snake oil. Note that any meaningful outcomes takes time to achieve, many months or years. So be skeptical of anything that offers rapid results. For one thing, if it does, it's probably dangerous. And if it doesn't, you just wasted money. Either way, you're wasting money. One of those ways of wasting money could end up costing you way more. And watch out for popular buzzwords: anti-inflammatory, detox, immune boosting, natural, organic. These terms aren't scientific, are usually misappropriated, and are an attempt by the vendor to blind you with science. So we're going to use some sciencey words in order to get you to buy our product. They're using it to try and fool you to say, look, this is doctor approved. When it's not. When it's not at all. Alright, we're going to do this last one here, and then we'll split it in half for next week. This question is, many online health and fitness influencers push nonsense concepts and sell worthless supplements. How can people spot the bad ones? And T, we live in the post-truth era, a time when emotions and personal beliefs are more influential than objective facts. Unfortunately true. There is a reason why my life has been far more miserable than it has been previously, and it's because nobody even pretends to be about objective facts anymore. And my analytical autistic self just don't handle that very well, so I'm becoming more of a recluse than I have been previously, just simply because I can't handle multiple choice truth. Because that's not how truth works. If you intend to engage with health and wellness content online, look closely at the influencer's qualifications. Are they qualified to give this advice? Consider the motives behind the context and content, and disregard advice in sponsored posts. Especially those YouTubes where they click up, you see a celebrity, this will help you get skinny. Just turn it off. Turn it off. There is no lose weight fast guaranteed pill, except the kind that could possibly land you in a hospital. Well, Tiffany, how do you do it then? I use the elliptical almost 24/7. That's how. Judge advice on merit and check whether it confirms to scientific expert consensus. And filter out fitspiration content that's all style over substance. Agreed. And as gains are extremely important when it comes to exercise and more serious training, you can lose a lot of gains and think that you're doing better because you're dropping weight. Okay? A lot of times these things actually do go further against you building muscle than helping you actually build it. I speak from experience there. Now, on that note, folks, we're going to go ahead and close out for this one. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few we do tend to get removed from time to time. So if you folks would be so kind, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, don't forget to hit the comments, and make sure that you are still set up to receive notifications. We don't want you missing any more episodes of the Snake Oil Salesman series or the Down the Rabbit Hole series. I do appreciate your time, and as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea absolutely do. Hope you have a good one. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye, everyone.